All right, for the last chunk of time here, since we finished the book, this week we're just gonna do a little talk, do a little bit talking about factoring. It's something you're gonna be using a lot next year, in Algebra 2. You may have seen it before, maybe not. Kind of just depends on how far you guys got with um, either Mr. Hopperstead or Mr. Michael. That's depending on who you had. So we're just going to go over factoring. I'm going to split it up over a few days to kind of go slow and give you some short assignments online, and I'll show you how to do that here in a little bit. So yeah, and then next week the plan for geometry, at least as of now. So your last school day would be Wednesday the 27th. So for the last 2 days, kind of what I'm thinking is the 26th. I'll post the quizzes for that day. And the 27th, I'm going to assign you a final. It'll be about the same length as a normal test. What we're going to do with that final, so obviously it'll cover stuff from the whole year in geometry, like the really important stuff, like Pythagorean theorem and sine, cosine, tangent, and kind of things like that, parallelograms, angles, stuff like that. And then what I'm going to do with that final is I'm going to have it go and replace your lowest test score of the quarter. So I guess what that means is, if your grade is, 100 some percent, or, you're fine with where your grade is at now, you don't actually have to take it, but it can't drop your grade is what I'm saying. So whatever your grade on your final is, I'll replace your lowest test score of the quarter. So if your lowest test score is 56% and you get a 80 on this one, well, I'll go and get rid of that 56% and give you 80%. So really all you can do is improve your grade on this final. You can't make it go down. You still need to make sure you're turning in these online assignments because that does count towards your grade, but the final is there just to take the place of your worst one so far. If you have any questions about that, or if you're wondering if it's worth it for you to take the final, you can just send me an email and I'll kind of be reminding you about it as we go on this week. So now that I'm done blabbing, I'm going to blab about some factoring. So today we're going to talk about just simply factoring out common terms. Now before we do that, let's do something I know you've done before, and that's use distributive property. So remember when you use distributive property and you have parentheses, you take this term outside times each one on the inside. So 6a times a is going to get you 6a squared, and then 6a times 4 would be 24a. And what you're going to find out is today we're going to be taking this and writing it backwards, going to there. So it's kind of doing distributive property backwards is what we'll be getting into. These are not like terms. You have a squared and a, so this is all the farther you can distribute there. Here, if we want to distribute, so anytime you have an x times an x, or a variable times a variable, it becomes squared. Now, negative times a positive, so it's going to be negative. So we would have negative x squared, and then we have negative x times negative 2, so that's a positive 2x. So just a quick review on distributing there before we get to factoring. So what happens with factoring is you're going to have an expression like this, 12x squared plus 6x. And what we're looking for is a greatest common factor to take out. So you kind of break it down into two steps, okay? So one is you look at the coefficients, 12 and 6. So what's the biggest number that goes into 12 and 6? That's going to be 6. So left you have, after you divide both terms by 6, so 12 divided by 6 is 2, divided by 6 is just 1x. Then you look at your variables. We got x squared and x. Well, each one has an x in it, so we can take an x out, and then we're left with this, 6x on the outside. When we took away an x here, it became just 2x instead of 2x squared. When everything gets taken out, it gets replaced by a 1. So we took a 6x out, so don't just erase it, it's just 1. Because what needs to happen, and this is how you check your answers, is when you get down to your answer here, you want to make sure that, or check to make sure you didn't make any mistakes in the actual factoring process, is you distribute it back out. You should get back to where you started. 6x times 2x, yep, that's 12x squared. And then 6x times 1, that's 6x. So now you've kind of seen it. We'll do some examples here. So first one, we have 12y squared minus 16y. So I'm looking at my 12 and my 16. I know that a 4 goes into both of those. Then I look, okay, I have y squared and y. Well, they each have a y, so I can take out a y. Then I got to come up with what's left. So divided by 4 would be 3. If I take a y away from y squared, I just have y. Take a 4 out of this one. So divide by 4 is negative 4. And if I took a y out, well, then I'm done. So here's my answer for that one. All right, next problem. Look at the numbers 8, 10, 6. Well, the biggest number that goes into 3 of those is just going to be a 2. And then I look at my y's. Well, notice that I don't have any y's here, so I can't take a y out of everything. So I'm just taking out a 2. So dividing everything by 2, I would get 4y squared minus 5y and then plus 3. So that one's just pretty basic. Okay, then finally, well, shouldn't say finally, we got 2 more examples left. So here I see that 5 goes into everything, so I can take a 5 out. I only have an x in one of these terms, so I can't take any x's out, but each one has at least one y, so I can take out a y. So this first term, I took out the 5, so that's gone. I still have an x, because I didn't take out an x. I did take away a y, so all I have left for that term is just x, y, instead of the y squared. Then it's going to be plus, well, take out 5y, so divided by 5 is 3. Take away a y, so just y is left. And if I take away a 5 there, I get 2. And I took the y, so it's just 2. So that's that one. Okay, and then finally one more example here. So look at my coefficients. So I got 3, 15, and 24. Well, I can take a 3 out of everything, so let's start with that. Look at your x's. I got x to the 4th, x squared. So I can take at least x squared out of everything. And then I got a y squared, a y, and a y squared. So I can take out a y. Okay, so first I divided by 3, so the 3 is gone. If I'm taking away x squared from x to the 4th, I have x squared left, because x squared and x squared would get me x to the 4th. I took out a y, so just y there. So the next term, divide by 3 is 5. Take away an x squared, take away a y, so it's just 5. Divide by 3 from 24, so that would be 8. I took away x squared, and I took away a y. So all I have left here is a y, like that. So again, all we're doing today is we're factoring out a common term. All right, so pretty easy stuff. Your assignment, it's called the factoring one assignment. It's on delta. So let me just go ahead and show you how to do that. So what you want to do is go to this deltamath.com. And you won't have a login yet, so you're just going to have to create an account. Obviously, you do student. You're going to put in the teacher code. So I copied that already. So this is the code you're going to use, 368578. So I should be able to hit enter here. Okay. Then this will come up, class. Obviously, you're going to want to select geometry, enter your name. So I'm just going to make up a name here. And then you enter your email stuff here. Okay, you kind of see what to do, obviously. I already have another thing. So anyways, then you're going to create an account. It's pretty easy to find the stuff, so I'll just show you what it kind of looks like. You'll have a list like this. This is Algebra 2, but yours will be Geometry. And then you pretty much just click on it and go. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you have any questions on that, just shoot me an email. And yeah, so that's about it. So good luck on that. Again, we'll factor this week, have a little quiz, and then next week we'll have a final that you can use to replace your lowest score so far.